Hello and welcome. I am Kyle, and this is part 9 of Community Service and Onyx Path. You know what, everyone? I haven't hit record yet, so I'm just gonna start everything all over again. And let my friends know what the introduction order is and do all of those things right here and now that I should have done beforehand, but it has been over a month since we all played together, since I streamed. So you know what? Let's just click start recording, and then everybody who sees this in the future will think I'm super professional.
We're very professional.
We're professional.
Hello and welcome to part 9 of Community Service, an Onyx Path premiere game of the brand new Trinity Continuum Aberrant 2.0 rule system. Or sometimes rule system. I really should rephrase that, because we're definitely in the setting. We don't make so much use of the rules as often as I probably want to. My name is Kyle, and I am the host, producer, story guide for this game. Community Service is a weekly 2-hour event that starts at 9 p.m. Mountain Time for the next 3 Tuesdays. Dang it, Kyle. Tuesdays. Some days you can find us. You can usually find me, however, in podcast land, where I put out about 9 podcasts a month on the minimum: Tavern Tales Jr., and something coming up with my wife, who's the principal producer of What the Force, a Star Wars fandom podcast, and most of those things can be found at www.taverntales.ca or wherever you would normally go get your podcasts. If you say, "Okay, Google," to your Google Echo or Home or whatever they're called, it'll actually play Tavern Tales' latest podcast, which was really inspiring over the Christmas break. We are excited to have people in chat tonight. So if you're out there, I would love some help. Not from my players, from anybody who's just sitting at their computer or sitting at their phone watching this. I just need some oddball type of tenants, some people who would live in a weird apartment complex. Just give me some descriptions of some of the people who live there, what they do, what they look like, things like that. That would really help me set the tone for some of the things that are going to happen in today's game. And now for some news from our sponsors. Let me pull this up. Onyx Path and Vampire the Masquerade have released Cults of the Blood Gods. When you have already experienced death, why have faith? If you accept that you and everyone like you is cursed by God, why cling to his word? When you return from the other side as a blood-drinking monster, what purpose serves belief? Kindred build and are drawn to faiths for myriad reasons. The exertion of power over a flock, satisfying their hunger and their beasts, elevation of the self, reassurance of the possibility of redemption, a grand plan they forged or that was bestowed upon them by secret masters. While some vampire cults span the globe hiding in plain sight, others are fringe faiths, with morbid practices and ancient conspiracies lasting centuries. Others, such as the incestuous Clan of Death and the malignant Church of Set, arguably the largest vampire cults of all, believe in destiny that will enable them to impose their wills on the world of the living and the dead. Whether for power, salvation, or transcendence, all kindred cults wallow in blood. They shed it in sacrifice, demand it of their followers, and exult in their unholy baptisms, proclaiming their divine glories. These cults, dedicated to blood gods, are among the most insidious, damning sects of kindred, and tonight they approach their apex of power. And it's something you too can own, only on Kickstarter. 8 days remain, and the project is already, whatever $156,000 of $38,000 goal is in percentage related points. So 5 times what they needed already. So good for them and their 2,000 backers. Join today and pop into the group and collect yourself a Cult of the Blood Gods. And now, with that out of the way, let's turn things over to our players.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. You can find me on Twitter at RNL, or you can find me here on Twitch at Ars Mythica. I'm here on Tuesdays for Community Service, and that's currently my only live stream. I am just now starting up a new podcast called Lore Time that will be exploring the lore of the Forgotten Realms. So if you're interested in that, check it out. And for the game today, I'm playing Samantha.
Hi everyone, I'm Velvet. I'm playing Isabella Sterling, like the Silver. And you can find me here on Tuesday nights. You can also find me on Flight Risk and Stories of a Broken Sun.
I had to read my name like 3 times to realize it was me. So that's what happened. Hi, I'm Paige, known as D&D and Paige, somewhere around my face. You can find that. You can find me on Twitter with that, and there is a link tree to my work on Drive-Thru and DM's Guild. And yeah, I'm fun here on Tuesdays. It's been a bit of a break, so I'm very excited to get back to it. I play Jess, a college athlete who now has to eat a lot because she's strong as bleep. I don't want to use the one F-bomb we're given. We've decided ourselves. It really needs to be saved for something good, but she's strong as bleep. So.
Hi, I'm Nat. I am at Ashes for Foxes on Twitter. It has been a long time since I saw you guys. I'm very happy to play again. You can find me on the Meta Machina podcast. That's Metamashina. On this, I play Ash, your local street rat turned Twilight vampire. For some reason, I sparkle now. This is great, wonderful. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Carl. You can find me on Twitter as RPG Carl. You can also find me tomorrow night on the We Are Nerdsmith channel when we return from holiday break there as well with a City of Mist game called Obscurum. It's black and white noir with superpowers.
That's wonderful. And before we load into the game itself and we enter the Matrix, that was a weird load comment to make, but nonetheless, before we jump into the game and we hop into the realm of the imagination, today is a very special day for one of my players, and so I figured I would serenade him with a happy birthday. But in order to do that, I have to back up.
Oh no. I'm
You're getting
actually
a full
nervous.
show.
This is fantastic.
My cable got tangled.
He has a performance.
Okay,
What the hell?
how far back? Okay, I'm back
Are
here.
you going to be flagged?
All right, here we go.
Interpretive dance.
Is there fireworks?
No. It's just...
What time is it where he is?
Happy birthday to you.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carol.
Oh my god.
Happy birthday to
That was amazing.
Beautiful. Holy crap, dude. You got
New tradition.
pipes.
Someone clip that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you, Kyle.
Yes. Happy birthday, Carl. How would you like to tell everyone how old you are today?
Oh, lordy. I turned 40 years old today.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh shoot, I was trying to tell Carl happy birthday in the chat and it got deleted by a moderator.
It timed you out for too many symbols. Huh?
Because I put too many like less than threes on the end of it.
Aw,
Oh,
too many hearts.
That's the cutest reason to get your
God.
message deleted.
That's so funny. I love it.
got deleted by the moderator for too many hearts.
We appreciate you, moderator. That was cute.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we are now let's find ourselves back in the game. So our 6 characters, our 5 characters, 6, I guess I'm a player now too. Our 6 characters are in the apartment. This posh, strange, wooden, lots of crazy smells were involved in the last description thereof of this apartment. But there's a big screen TV in the main room, and it was showing some live news and televised events and whatnot. And Scott Blaze had recently told you that it was time to go and make some use of your community service hours that the city holds over you, and wanted you to go down and fetch one of these ex-cons that you'd initially let go so long ago. So the 5 of you are gathered in this kitchen, dining room, big, open, expansive area. I don't doubt that Jess is still gobbling away at some foodstuffs. And yeah, let's let you all lead in there with Scott Blaze standing there looking at you, wondering, are you planning on leaving sometime soon?
I'm far too busy eating, by the way, so there's no response.
I love it.
I don't know. Maybe we should wait for Jess to get finished. Do you think she'll ever get finished?
It's been a couple days now. I don't think she's gonna be done anytime soon. Just take it away from her. Like, it's like when your dog gets in the trash and you just, you have to like pull him out.
I don't think you're supposed to get between an animal and its meal.
That's true. Thanks.
It's like a Nat Geo special at this point.
It's like
We're
a never
just here to
ending
watch the
supply of
footage.
sandwiches.
I was keeping tallies, but then I got bored.
I'm impressed.
Even if both of her legs were hollow, where is she putting it?
Into the metabolism furnace of her belly.
The gauntlet's a black hole. That's where it all goes.
I'll like lean up for my sandwich. I can hear you. I'll bring it with me. All right, I'll bring it with me. Thank you.
You put it in your
Thank
pocket?
you.
Is that what's gonna like?
I have a back.
You
I
want to carry a duffel bag
backpack.
of them like Santa Claus?
Well, I'm sure they have a backpack or a duffel bag. That's really, thank you, Leo. A duffel bag would be really good. And she's partly sarcastic, but partly appreciates the real tip.
Make sure to throw in some chips and a drink. Diversify your options here.
Upgrade to the combo.
You better not throw up in the helicopter.
We're going in a helicopter? Did I miss that part? What the hell?
We don't have
wouldn't
one
use that.
yet. I'm just putting the intention out there.
Okay.
No helicopters.
Yeah, I tried really hard. Remember?
Yeah, I think we need to not draw attention to ourselves, considering that we're probably going to die.
That's the best reason to draw attention to yourself.
Okay, you're right. Never mind. Somebody get a fan cam of this stuff.
Okay, so where do we go?
What's on the news?
There's lots of things on the news. The CNN right now, I don't know, it's still August, so whatever the news on CNN was in August. But it's interspersed with a lot of these Nova sightings, some news about some things that were happening in Florida, some things that are happening in New York City, and a bunch of stuff that's happening in Europe in regards to people with superpowers and some major devastation that's happened as a result of some of these environmental accidents that also occurred. And it's interspersed with occasional cutaways to the group of five, U5.
Guess we're famous now. Cool.
Yeah, but we're famous in those orange jumpsuits.
Yeah, I'm famous for something I don't want to be famous for.
So by Isabella Sterling like the Silver's logic, we got to put those back on.
I never took mine off.
Yeah, I'm still wearing it.
I showered in this.
How?
Actually, I didn't shower. I just.
Ew.
Shower was an exaggeration.
Yeah, you're overestimating my need to stay clean. I'm beautiful. See, I sparkle. Don't even have to wash. Mr. Clean.
I don't think all sparkles are created equally. All right, are we ready to go?
Yeah. Onward to Doom. Sounds great. Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, get prepared for this trip. All right.
Scott Blaze has an address for you at this point. He tells you one of his, what are they, the IT people or the analysts? He says, an analyst has let me know that it's at 55 Guerra Street.
Cool. Are you going to drive us there?
No.
Are you going to supply us with a vehicle to arrive there safely?
Guess we're taking to public transportation.
That'll be fun. We've been all over the news. I'm sure we won't be detained at all if we try taking the subway.
Fair. That's what Kyle says. No, what Scott Blaze says.
Oh.
Scott Blaze says nothing. Isabella Sterling, you're aware of 55 Garris Street, though.
What is it, 55 Garrett Street?
That is the apartment complex where Mama Rose lives. A very large tenement building. Yes, you get a text message as well. Because might as well play that up. It's a text message from Mama Rose. How do text messages work? Is this thing on? I don't understand. Why is it saying all of the words I'm saying? How do I make this stop?
Just permanent text-to-speech.
Text-to-speech, yeah.
Open Google.
All right, we gotta go. Scott, normally I would drag this out, but you got 3 choices. I can go through public transit and make an absolute scene, which I may do anyway. You could give us a vehicle, or I will call someone and have them bring me a helicopter.
Scott looks at you and says, "It's fine. Mr. Upton's cab is downstairs."
Cab. Yeah. Let her do driving.
You want all 5 of us to go in my cab? We'll pile out like a clown car.
That's
Dibs
cool.
on front. Dibs on front right now.
Somebody just put me in their lap. I'm light. I can just,
Whew. Had no idea the secret government agency was so cheapskate. All right, I guess I'm driving.
Yay.
We're going in style. We got our own Ghostbusters mobile, but it's a cab.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's got some fancy lights on it.
Yeah.
Wait, we are the fancy lights.
Scott Blaze gives you your keys back.
Well, I mean, they are the fancy lights. But
Thank you.
I'm a disco ball. What are you talking about?
that's what I'm saying.
If you stopped by a chop shop later, I'm like 85% sure I could talk them into pimping your cab.
Yeah, I'm like 85% sure I'm still going to need to use it as a cab. Because
What's
they
wrong?
ain't
Think how
paid
many
us.
more clients you would get.
Yeah, come on. You're going to get so many more clients if you have a sweet, sick, like Batmobile, but it's not a Batmobile. I don't know what your aesthetic is with your superhero stuff, but you can totally rock it, dude.
Ding! The elevator opens, and there is Leo Upton's cab. Please describe your cab for everyone, Carl, so that we get a picture of what everyone is doing. And then when Carl is done, everyone can describe climbing into the vehicle.
This is a 4-door yellow cab. It is a like Mercury Sable style, like mid sedan.
I can't picture that. New choice.
Okay, Crown Vic.
Ooh, yes, I can
Even
picture
better.
that.
Okay.
Perfect.
So large sedan, Crown Vic.
I love it.
Funny, your car looks old, but you look so young now.
Yeah, funny.
Is this like a Dorian Gray scenario? Does the car age, but you don't?
That's interesting. I never thought
Worst
about
remake ever.
What is
Oh, we can't pimp it now. We have to store it away and hide it from you.
What's the interior of the cab look like? Is there any damage to the exterior of the cab?
There is very little damage to the exterior of the cab. Superficial dents and scratches that you would see on a vehicle in heavy use in heavy traffic. It has a typical cab guards on the front, in front of the grille. And that's where the majority of the paint scratches are. The inside of the cab is fairly pristine. It looks like he takes a lot of pride in keeping it clean, although there probably is a 2-day-old McDonald's bag from breakfast when all this started in the front seat floorboard.
Cool. There, I would like to add something that in the side of the seat, like in between the front driver's seat and the passenger seat, there's a small Dyson hand vac that he doubtlessly uses to clean regularly behind.
Absolutely.
And there's those sorts of all the cleaning supplies that you would need to keep the fingerprints off the glass and whatnot of the inside is in the glove box. As you pile in, though, there are a couple of other strange odds and ends in the cab that even Leo is not aware of when you all climb in. So feel free that when you enter the cab, you all get to describe some strange object that is in the cab, and I will take one from chat as well. So let's have Carl hop in. Let's have Leo hop in first and tell us where you go and how you get in the cab and what do you find.
Walking up to the cab and sort of Vanna White presenting it to everyone, and then putting a key physically into the door and unlocking the door to open up the driver's side. There is no push button. Stepping in and sitting down in the cab.
And he sits on? What do you sit on, Leo?
Oh, like what object do I find in the cab?
Yep.
A hand radio that has nothing to do with the cab company.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you. Who's next? We can go reverse order with Carl, Nat, Paige, Velvet, Sarah, if you would like some order to this life.
Sure.
I'm going in last, by the way. I'm
Yeah,
sitting
sure.
across somebody, you know? Like, I'm always going to sit bitch, but oops. Is that PG-13?
That's perfectly fine. PG-13.
Okay, awesome.
If E.T. can say it, then it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I, having claimed the front seat, is going to rush to the front seat. And as soon as it's unlocked, I'm going to open it and go to sit down. Realize I was going to ask if I could eat in here. I see the McDonald's bag. My sandwiches are totally fine. This smells much worse. And when I sit down, when I'm buckling in, I feel something kind of by the buckle. Oh, is this Leah's romance novel he's been reading while waiting at the airport?
A romance novel. I love it.
A little strange.
I like it.
It's aliens. You can see he's got a weird, non-human thing going on. I'm just gonna put it down. Don't want to explore anymore.
Romance novel. I love it. Thank you. Oh, of course, Jess, you rush to get into the front seat. So, and of course, you don't have really good control over your movement. That's literally how it sounds when she almost breaks the sound of sound barrier. Do you go too far and rock the cab, or are you just so like there's just a big torrent of wind? Does your hyper movement come into play at all in your entrance into the vehicle?
Probably a little bit at first, but when I see the shredded lettuce leaving my sandwiches, I slow it down, take it real easy, and then get in the car gently to not disturb my sandwiches.
I love it. Perfect. Thank you. Who's next?
Okay, so I'll get in. Sam gets into the back seat and goes to fasten the seatbelt and realizes that the seatbelt is caught and is having to pull on it. She turns and looks, and there's a toy pirate ship stuck in the seatbelt. She has to unwedge it. Toy pirate ship?
What is that?
I don't know. It's in your cab.
I've never seen that before.
Cool. Are you directly in the driver's side? Is that the side you're on?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Velvet, what's going on with Isabella Sterling?
I will approach the passenger side of the back seat. Leo, are your windows up or down?
I assume up. I didn't park the car.
You get to make that decision, Velvet.
Oh,
I'm gonna say they're up. I'm going to very gingerly open the door, roll the window down, shut the door, back up a few feet, and Dukes of Hazzard into it.
Wow. What sort of check would
course.
you like to make in order to look good doing that? I feel like this is something, if you would like to make a check to display some sort of awesome stuff, if you'd like to earn and gain some momentum for the momentum track, this is a good time to make a check to do something ludicrous.
Always. I'm thinking it's probably got to be dexterity to make sure I
Sure.
don't like. It's a very narrow opening.
There's fewer complications if you're using dexterity as the attribute, for sure. And
And athletics.
yeah, that makes good sense. I would think that just a single success is enough for success in this instance. Are there any possible complications that we could get that we could spend some successes off of Isabella's Sterling's die check here? Anybody want to add anything?
Get caught on the not like the door lock or like the window itself, just rip clothes off. I don't know. I'm not trying to get dirty with it, but
No, it's fair. Something
Fair.
tears. Doesn't have to be dirty. Yeah, I'd say that's a 1 point complication. Are there any other complications that could come from this sort of thing? I think I might add. It depends. What's your pool looking like right now for dexterity athletics?
I have a modest pool of 8 dice.
And I think you needed another additional complication of getting stuck and looking stupid. So
There's definitely also not kicking Sam in the face.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say.
I think that would come from a botch. So I think we're okay there. Not kicking Sam in the face. Just the one success is all you require, and you have 2 complications that you can buy off from any additional successes. Give us your check.
Well, I only got 2 successes somehow. So I won't look stupid, but I'm happy to tear some garments.
Go ahead, describe it.
All right. I'll take very confidently. I'll go back a few feet, get a running start, and dive in head first. As I'm nearing, I realize that I'm veering a little too much to the right and try to barrel roll midair. I'm able to get myself in, but just like get a pretty gnarly shred on the because we haven't been giving you duds. So I think I'm still wearing the regular tank top that I was under the orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
So it's just got the Wolverine look to it. There's just random nonsensical tears because I decided to barrel roll through a window.
Gonna have to make a crop top out of that.
That's probably the next step, yeah, because it just looks dumb torn. So I'll just finish off the crop top.
I also kind of pictured that there was a pop lock, and you misjudged that there was a pop lock there, and that's what your crop top got. Your top got caught
Probably,
on.
yeah.
I think you kind of bent the lock too.
Caught the crop top and the pop lock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Caught the top in the pop lock and required to turn it into a crop top. In the meantime, bent the pop lock. Now pop and lock.
Pop and lock.
And what's in the car when you kind of wriggle yourself into your seat proper?
I mean, landing in face first gives me a unique vantage point under the driver's side seat, from which I pull a Bible. But upon further inspection, it's hollowed out, and there's just some bullets.
What?
Wow. You have a Bible that has been hollowed out, and there are bullets in it. Wow, that's amazing. Give it to Velvet. I give Velvet everybody 1 item, and Velvet's like, nope, my item's 2 things.
A Bible with bullets in it.
Yeah, I love it. Perfect. So, Ash, you are left outside of the cab. You're the last one there.
Flicked my cigarette that I was smoking in the parking garage, and I'm like, open the door. Slide across Velvet. Of course. Sorry. Hope you like that. And then I rummage around inside the backs of the seats to see if I can find anything, but all I come up with is one of those empty mint wrappers, because I think Leo had some courtesy mints for his people before he stopped doing that, because it's over. And then I grabbed the romance novel from wherever Jess threw it, because I know she did. I'm just like, wow. Yeah, I really like this stuff. This is great. And then that's just me in the back seat, sitting between the two, just like, yeah, let's go.
So did you give Isabella Sterling a chance to sit up before you climbed over Isabella Sterling? Okay, perfect. I totally pictured that. And because of this beautiful description and because of everything that you've given me so far, I'm going to award you all 2 momentum to add to this this scene as you're going forward, because I feel like we've set the scene. I feel like you're a team. You've entered your team vehicle, and now you're on your way to 55 Gara Street. Tusk Love. Is that what the title of that book was?
By Matilda Mercer. I mean, if you're a true Critical Role fan, you would know what this is.
Don't know. Critical Role.
Come on. Tiefling and orc romance? How does nobody know? Like, this car is full of non-nerds. Yeah, no. Just pretend it's an alien romance. I like that better.
Sure.
It's the steamiest.
It is the steamiest.
One of your characters has a great deal of heightened intelligence and the ability to read something, see. I don't want to say see the future because it's according to Trinity Continuum, that's on the psychic side of things. They're trying to cut that away and apart from the superhero side or reading the future and whatnot. But somebody in this group has that, and especially has this heightened intelligence. I would like to give that individual time on the car ride to come up with a plan or develop or come up with any sort of bits of intellectual genius that may happen over the course of this car ride that would not be something a normal person could conceivably propagate getting. And so if Sarah has any ideas you'd like to make use of your mega intelligence on this ride over, by all means, you have access to Google and search sites and things like that as well that might help you get information about what you're going into.
Yeah, I would love to have more info about what we're going into and formulate a plan. So, like, is there a way to get, like, satellite aerial view of the location, or?
Yes, done. You have that.
Okay, I have that. Blueprints of the building?
Sure. So let's make a check then, as you do some assessment and delving, and the number of successes you get are the number of things and questions that you can ask in advance of getting into this situation that a normal group would take like a couple hours to do a prep scene for. And I will not necessarily answer all of these questions here and now. You can get some very specific, detailed questions, and I invite you to open this up to your fellow players because your brain power is probably more than all of our brain power combined for your character. So in order to represent that, we'll give the depth and breadth of questions available to all of our brains to Samantha for the course of this drive to 55 Gara Street. So I also will say, hey chat, if you're there too and you have an interesting concept or idea for what you might want to know as you're heading there, by all means. So let's what sort of check do you think that this would be? I don't doubt that it's some sort of intellect related check.
Right, like, so what about like intellect enigmas?
Okay.
We need to try to figure out Yeah, I'm going to say intellect and enigmas. Or technology, because I'm using technology to help formulate a plan.
Yeah, I think either of those works very well. Which one do you have a larger pool in?
Technology.
Then, yeah, make use of technology. That way we can get as many successes as we need.
Right.
And in this instance here, there won't be any complications. However, if you have edges or things that you would like to use your successes to buy specifically, you're more than welcome to do so. Don't forget as well that in this instance, your intellect triggers and you have mega intellect. So that puts you at scale 3. So each success is essentially 3 successes that you roll. Now, before you toss the dice on the table, is there anything else? Do you have any edges that give you any additional checks or anything else that might come to this? Do you have any specializations that you might be able to use momentum on in order to further succeed or advance yourself?
As far as edges, no.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Nope.
All right,
We're
then
good.
give it a roll. And how many dice did you roll?
6 dice.
Oh, that's not so bad.
1 success.
Oh my goodness. Cool. So you have... That's essentially 3 successes. That's scale 3, or is it more? I can't even remember. Anybody?
It's scale 3. Yeah.
Scale
3
3
negative
doesn't
4.
necessarily triple, though, because 1 is 2, 2 is 4. Anyway, it's a lot of successes. It may very well be 4, or I think it might be 4. So, yeah, because scale 1 is
10.
1. Sorry?
I said the 1 success was a 10. And I
Ooh,
rerolled
nice.
it.
Excellent. So you got your 1 success, which is enough for 4 successes total,
Oh,
let's
wait,
say.
wait. I forgot
waiting.
7's count.
Yes,
So that's
7s count
3
as well.
successes.
Ooh, okay. So you have 2 7s and a 10?
Yes.
Then I believe that's 12 successes. So you can ask as many questions as you'd like to ask. Let's get things rolling as we zoom in on what this apartment complex looks like. It is a tenement building that has 100 apartments. It takes up a whole quarter quadrant of this city block. There is an alley so it takes up the corner, so the street goes around it, and there is an alley on both other sides, and kitty corner to it, to the street, is a large city park. The building is 8 stories tall, and I will let the description of that happen in a bit, and you can all help me with the description of what this tenement building looks like. There are kids playing outside in the parks, in the city park across the way, and there are businesses on either side of the remaining 2 sides of the building on that street. The kitty corner section in the quadrant itself, and if I had a picture I would show you, that is a leveled building. That it's a construction site that's under construction. So that's what you have for your overtop picture of it. Anything else you'd like to have?
What do you guys think? What else do we need to know going in here?
I guess how many? I know it seems like it's pretty big, but how many exits are on this building? Is that relevant?
Sure, that's great. The main entrance of the building is on the north side of the street, and that main entrance only has 1 exit, but all 3 other sides of the building all have 2 exits set in the 1/3, 2/3 section, and there's of course 2 exits to the roof. Lots of balconies and windows as well, of course.
Fire escapes?
Yes, it's 8 stories tall. There are fire escapes. There are probably 6 fire escapes.
Okay. Do we need to evacuate if there's children around? Is it a school day?
It's the weekend. It's now the Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Sorry, I don't know what day it is usually anyway, so.
Absolutely. That was one of your questions, by the way.
Sorry, I didn't
Okay, we'll get as many as we want.
No, I'm just kidding.
That is a good subject, though. Do we know how many people there are?
Probably 100 apartments.
Jeez, we should probably pull a fire alarm when we get there.
Yeah.
You now know where all the fire alarms are.
Do we know how many combatants there are?
What do you mean by combatants?
Like,
How many bad guys are there?
yeah, we're here because of a report of 1 bad guy.
Sure. There's definitely gang activity that happens in this building. It is come up with a strange gang name page that you might think exists in Los Angeles.
Don't make it racist. Just don't make it.
Or real.
I'm like, I don't even know. Ask another question as I think.
Yeah, there's gang
The unicorn contingent. We're just gonna,
Okay, I'm a fan of the unicorn contingent. It is fluffy and non-offensive.
I want Nazis involved in that somehow, so please include Nazism in your unicorn contingent. They're like super Nazis.
I mean, yeah.
Korean
The Third Reich unicorn contingent.
Oh my god.
Nazi unicorns are my least favorite type of unicorn.
Fair. I agree.
The Nazicorn contingent.
Oh, Nazicorns. I love
Nazi-
that.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
keep
what
it.
everybody calls them, and
Nazicorns.
they shoot people up.
They started on Reddit. Narwhals, you know. Sorry. Oh, I'm going.
Yes.
I'm going
Yes.
to jail.
The Nazi unicorn contingent is what we've got. They're called Nux, N-U-Cs.
Yeah, yeah.
Nux. Yeah, and they all look like Larry. They look like the Three
Tim
Stooges for
Larry.
sure. Cool. More questions.
They're arch rivals of the Aryan Pegasi.
No more Narda gods. We're going Greek with us.
Yes.
Do we know any extra? Oh, sorry. What?
Go for it.
Oh, I was just saying. Do we know any extra information on this porcupine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
probably
basically
could
what
figure
I-
that out. It takes a bit of doing, though. You'll have to figure out something I've given you all in character to get more about the porcupine beforehand.
I mean, I'm Antifa, so like, probably saw
I'm
one of
gonna-
these guys at a bar somewhere with one of those tattoos. You know.
Yep.
Show up at a house party sometimes. You gotta be careful.
They all have unicorn tattoos with Hitler mustaches.
Mm-hmm.
Paige was drinking. Pictured.
I'm
a
gonna
unicorn
Google
with a
everything
Hitler
that
mustache.
I can
Yeah.
about porcupines. I want to know everything there is to know about porcupines. Like
Cool.
legit
That-
porcupines.
that's
not
what I'm doing next to
specifically this
Samantha.
guy, but like all of their weaknesses, all of their strengths, because
Their natural
he might
predator is the
have
fisher.
some.
I will remind Velvet that you got some information at the start of this game.
Like a packet.
Yeah.
That dossier. I know that's the apartment where Mama Rose lives, but that I haven't worked out a connection.
Okay, and then Mama Rose sent you a text message as well. It seemed like she was trying to call you and then sent you a text instead.
Does that seem odd to you?
The lack of tech savvy, no. But she usually doesn't call this late. Then again, I didn't have superpowers before, so I don't know.
Sunday morning.
Is it Sunday morning?
Yes.
It might as well be night.
I know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
night for Isabel, right?
And for your characters, it's been, we started this game Saturday, 2 in the afternoon.
Jesus. It's been less than 24 hours.
Sunday night somewhere.
Do you think this Mama Rose is in danger?
I hope not, but maybe. I don't know. I don't even know what this porcupine guy does.
You should try calling her and find out if she's okay.
I mean, that would be the responsible thing.
Do you
I'll
wanna be
give my-
responsible?
Not a narc. I will call Mama Rose though, but I'll put it on speakerphone.
Okay. You call Mama Rose. See if I can do this.
I do.
here. Which is a character we have not gotten a chance to meet yet in this game. This is the last character that has not been introduced yet, I think.
We met Mama Rose
No, we
briefly
met Mama
before.
Rose.
Did we meet Mama
Mhm.
Rose? Oh,
Yeah,
I
at
have
the
that
diner.
Briefly.
incorrectly listed in my list. Oh, it was Mama Rose at the diner. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Sugar Bear, can I call you back?
We're kind of on our way to see you. Surprise.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that might be a good thing. There's kind of a creature. Supposedly. I don't know. I'm just hearing people upset and down the hall. I
What
don't
kind of
really know.
creature?
I mean, I don't know. They're just insulting.
Is it a rodent of unusual size?
I mean, I didn't look at it. I just hear them insulting this poor man. I hear voices, and that's about. I didn't want to stick my head out because that sounds like a good way to get in trouble.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so just stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the door locked. We'll be there soon.
You know I'm not an arc.
I have the wrong
Word.
character. This is my fault. Have we met Velma yet?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then continue with Mama Rose. It's fine. We'll live with this.
I think we were about to hang up though. I think you're coming this way, right, Isabella?
Yeah, we're on our way. I will give her whatever approximate location we're in, but we're almost there.
Just you have the key, so just you can just let yourself in. Like, and she's like, okay, I gotta go. All right, like,
Okay,
hangs up.
Cool. Okay, you hung up. That's fine. Then I'll give you some more information because Mama Rose would have been able to pass that on if you'd asked. Like, what apartment building is this person in? Whereabouts can you hear the noise? What does the voices this person sound like? Things like that. They could have maybe articulated more.
Oh, is
then we
it
could have
not
been
one big
pulled into one big what?
building?
It is one big building.
Oh, you said what apartment building?
I meant apartment room.
Oh, okay.
What apartment? Sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So instead, Mama Rose could easily have passed on the information of where the individual is, what floor are they on, where is it coming from, these sorts of things, if we had thought to ask. So
told Isabella it was down the hall from me, and Isabella knows where Mama Rose lives.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So it's on my floor.
On the 4th floor.
There we go, the 4th floor.
And you can guesstimate what apartment it is, and then you can use information from that as you will. We don't need the specific numbers and things like that, but feel free to ask questions at this point.
Okay, so we know the best way to get in here.
Yep.
What kind of defenses are we gonna need?
I don't know. That you couldn't figure that out. That would not be something you'd immediately be able to determine.
Okay.
Probably some sort of quill protection.
That's perfectly legitimate. Okay.
Heavy wool coats.
Heavy wool coats. I love it.
I pick up a trash can lid. Yeah. Great minds think alike. Trash can lids.
So your character is so smart, Sarah, that she could easily get access to the building, to residency files, to IRS returns, bank statements, things like that. That could, like, anything you want, you could probably be pulling up on a handheld phone over the course of this car ride to 55 Garra Street. So if you wanted to know who was the owner of that apartment building, or who was the tenant in that apartment building, you have the layout for the apartment buildings at this point, what the locksmith key, what key company they use for changing locks, things like what sort of security systems do they have, which is negligible to none, things like that. You can definitely get that information as well.
Okay. All of that.
Sure. Okay. I love it.
So additionally, we have the dossier on this porcupine guy, right?
You do not. You just know that there's activity. It's super powered, and it seems to be related to an ex-con. That's all you got out of that information. You do not know who this person is. You don't even know their name. So the owner of the apartment, give me an Asian Japanese name, Carl.
Lee Jean.
That is very vaguely Asian, probably not Japanese. Lee Jean. Sounds great. That is the name on the owner of the apartment building. You do find out though that it is rented out to a woman. What's a woman's name? Nat.
Rosie.
Rosie, last name.
Oh wait, that's Mama Rose. Oh shoot, that's not good. We're gonna go for Betty.
Okay. And what's her last name?
Kirchhoff.
Cool. So yes, that is the apartment building renter to Lijon. Betty Kirchhoff.
I think we're almost as prepared as we can possibly be. We know what apartment this guy's in. We know who owns that apartment. We know who owns the building. We know all of the best ways in and out. I know where all the fire systems are.
Yep.
See, you know military strategy. Isn't that what you studied, right? Like, oh, wait, no.
You
No,
haven't asked, but you know where the stairs are as well as the 2 elevators.
I just feel like elevators are a death trap. What do you think about
At
that?
least
Yeah,
you know where
kind
they
of
are.
with you on that one. Yeah, yeah.
Elevators are already busted
probably
there
not a
anyway.
great idea.
You know how like if a shark comes at you and you boop it in the nose, it will like not bite you? Do you just boop a porcupine in the nose?
I think that they usually have guns or like
No.
baseball bats. That's definitely been my experience.
A porcupine?
I thought you were talking about the unicorn people.
With a gun?
Do
I
you
mean,
want
if-
to know anything else about Betty Kirchhoff?
Yes. Who is Betty? Where does she work? How old is she? Is she married? Does she have children?
Cool. I love it. These are great questions.
I love the mind of Samantha.
Yeah, we'll go around the circle here. Nat, where does she work?
She's a customer service agent for one of those companies that calls old people and sells them the stickers on the back of their car that have like military or fireman stuff so they get out of like cop tickets.
Like the fraternal police?
It's so specific. I love it. Great. She probably hates her job. How old is she, Carl?
She is 58.
Okay. Yep. That's not what I was picturing, but now I am.
Her name's Betty. What do you expect? She's like born in like 1999 or something. That's like no, ain't happening.
I mean,
Sorry.
possibly. I have no problem with that. 58 it
Veronica.
is.
I have Betty friends that were.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like shame any Bettys that were born past 1984.
It's perfectly fine. What was another of the questions there? You asked them rapid fire.
Married,
Is she
children.
married? Does she have children?
Yeah, is Betty married? Velvet.
Yes.
Okay. Her husband is deceased. She does have a child. What is the daughter's name, Paige?
Ooh, Frances.
Francis.
Definitely Frances. She wanted a name that matched the age
Yeah.
of her.
Okay, Frances Kirchhoff.
Okay, I was legitimately almost named Frances. Side point.
It's a good name. I like it.
My mother refused. That's another story. But there could be a Frances now.
I will change your name right now. We'll just do this on the screen. I will let you know that Betty Kirchhoff is a widow and does not have much in the way of a social media profile other than a Facebook profile that has 32 other Kirchhoffs on it and nothing else. The daughter, however, Frances Kirchhoff, has a huge social media following and is considered a influencer.
Ooh,
That's-
no.
I only just learned what that was.
Is she got it? Is it YouTube or Instagram? That's the question.
She's a TikTok influencer.
Okay. I like it. Dig at it.
You know what?
Cutting edge.
Get it if you can get it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
If people won't pay you.
Velvet, give me a number that's ridiculous.
10 billion.
Yeah.
Square root
That's
of
how
10.
many watches she's had on TikTok.
10 billion.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous number.
Wow. She like broke the platform.
Yeah. And she goes by Red Kerchief. Because the play on Kirchhoff.
I like it.
Cool. You learn in that she is pining and sad, this Francis Kirchhoff, for a guy, a big burly guy that has been sent away, and her most recent TikTok video is getting all excited because she's gotten a call, and everyone on TikTok's going to get to meet him all too soon because he's coming by. And that's literally the last TikTok that is on display. But as a result, you now have access to Frances Kirchhoff's phone, and you could hack her phone with this whatever Samsung you've got in front of you.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay. I want to hack her phone and see if I can see through the camera.
Okay. So, yes, you have rolled in a phenomenal technology thing. You cannot see anything through the camera. There is the muffled sound of an argument and a loud voice. But you can't, like, it's just, you get a sense of anger, frustration, and on the part of a male voice, and then a woman's voice who seems like definitely the worried tones of a Frances Kirchhoff, because you've seen a couple of her 20-second videos. You hear her voice. She is definitely there, notes of stress, tension, and worry. And that's correct. Yes. You are now FBI agents, and you're actively remoting into other people's cell phone cameras. Because what do you do with level 3 intellect?
Okay, guys, this is not gonna.
What's that? What's that? It sounds like an argument.
Yeah, that's Red Kerchief.
It sounds like she might be like a Ukrainian nationalist or something. I don't know.
I thought we were going after a porcupine.
I mean, porcupines have guns apparently, so in this universe, anything goes. But I don't want to like deep too much into her like political ideology, but it sounds like she might be dating a Nazi, and we should probably be careful and make sure she doesn't end up, being harmed by him.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like the guy that she was dating might be one of the cons from the bus.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, she's got like 10 billion views on TikTok. How do we let that go,
Well, maybe we could get on that, she's taking a TikTok and we're going to show up and
just be like, hey, we saved your life. You need to like promote us.
Yeah. And like
Share
the
that
8
clout.
seconds that you get. Yeah. We're Clout Chasers now. That's our new group name, Clout Chasers.
Wait, I mean, the plan is to bring in the porcupine guy, right? So we go in and politely ask him to come with us, and if he resists, we just bring him with us.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you can do as the, older gentleman is knock on the door and have the bruiser behind you, maybe, and be like, I just heard some yelling. I was concerned. And then, one of us, like, that strong metal arm, maybe.
Do I get to punch a Nazi?
You possibly can. See, isn't that cool? We cover the exits. You and me, Izzy, are going. We're going to make sure that this guy does not get away.
This would be a good plan. Like, do I think this would be something?
Does anything I say ever sound like a good plan? Like, really?
There's
Please.
the elements of a solid plan in there. We just have to draw them out.
Just do the opposite of what I
I'm gonna
tell you.
attempt to activate that future sight thing.
Hey Ash, I don't think that us pretending to not know who he is works very well with us asking him to come with us.
No, you're just gonna go and be like, hey, I heard some screaming, and pretend like it was like outside instead of like through a phone, because the FBI is listening all the time. That's not something you want to tell one of these guys. They're gonna flip the out. I know.
Were we deputized? Can somebody kick down the door and shout "Freeze, FBI"?
We
I
kind
mean,
of
we weren't
are.
officially deputized.
I don't think those guys were even the FBI.
Yeah, we
They're
try.
kind of like, I don't know, a secret organization. Like they can't officially deputize us. What are you gonna do? Just be like, we were deputized by this secret organization that you don't know exists.
You know, I honestly don't think that we even need to use words. But
No words. We don't need words.
All right, so let's at least try to let him know we would like very politely and peacefully for him to come along with us because he doesn't belong here endangering people.
I'm
I'll go with you and-
9,000% sure that that will not work.
I'll like calm the situation if you need that. Like, apparently I'm good at that.
That's a good idea.
I have a punchable face though, you know, like.
I mean, if you want him to come along peacefully, then I think the only way to do that is going to be to bribe him.
What if we swung by the zoo and got the porcupines? I guess he has to go live with his people now.
I mean,
So there's
That
two
sounds
things that I want to just reiterate and one as an ad, and we'll get to that when Paige gets back. The first is that when last we got together, Scott Blaze said there were two types of criminals, and he doesn't want you to go round up all of the ones that have shown Nova powers, only the ones that they could not get to and convince to join up with. They felt that based on their profiles that those people they sent other people to go and have the chat that you all got, because they felt that these people, the crimes that they committed, the type of profiles that they have, social media and other ways in which the government tracks and determines what people are like, determined that maybe these people could eventually be, adapted to join the ranks of whatever group that they're trying to put together here for Project Utopia. So this individual, they do not feel would be willing or likely to
Listen to reason
that they believed. That is just what Scott Blaze said. If you walk in there and feel like, no, we're going to convince him because we got a ton of convincing superpowers, this is going to happen, by all means, it may very well. So just as an option, you could walk in and convince the porcupine of the powers of awesome superherodom.
So, okay, I hear what you're saying. However, I don't think that we would be very good people if we just kick the door down. I think that it would still be.
we can still knock.
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't agree with kicking the door in.
That would scare everybody involved, and if there's guns, I do not want them coming out. So I think you're completely correct here, Leo. We should definitely knock first and have a conversation. But convincing this person to give up their fascist ideology, not going to happen in a conversation. So,
Right.
yeah.
But we at least need for ourselves and the ability to sleep at night to have given him a chance.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't we yes, we could approach it that way, but we could also approach this differently and try to like de-escalate the situation. Maybe Isabella Sterling, like the Silver, could come in and approach Red Kerchief as a potential fellow influencer who is looking to connect and, like promote each other and maybe like diffuse the situation that way somehow.
I like that idea.
You've arrived.
Okay.
You're getting out of the car. Everything looks normal. It's just a normal looking street, normal looking day. You can hear the sounds of vehicles rumbling by on the street ahead. You can hear the crosswalk sounds for vision impaired people making their dinging singing sound. You can hear the kids just off the way playing in a playground, the crunch of gravel as they're running and playing a game of grounders, because who doesn't love grounders? And Samantha, the last thing you get is that you got caught up in all the TikTok stuff, and just as a last glance as you're scrolling and flipping and closing a bunch of the windows that you've had open, because we're talking about windows upon windows, your tab flipping back and forth, you've got two different phones going at any given time, so you can hack into something, control and check something. You see on a bank statement for Francis Kirchhoff registration to a private elementary school for a Carl. Give me a sweet, adorable young child's name.
Cassie.
For Cassie. Cassie Kirchhoff. No, different last name. Cassie Rasmussen.
Huh. I think she had a kid with someone else.
What?
She's got some kid in daycare or preschool or something. Like she's paying for their schooling. Maybe that's what they're fighting about.
So you're saying there could be a kid in there? Right now, it's Sunday.
Isabella?
Possibly.
Isabella, can you work with that?
I mean, just keep her away from me. Otherwise, the mother won't take her back, but sure.
I don't think it's a baby bird.
Isn't every small child a baby broken bird to us? Lovers of humanity.
Well, they're kind of like dirty, germy poop factories, but
Bingo.
You people are weird.
Are you on our
You're
child
weird.
free? Jeez. Okay.
At least I've had a kid.
You had. Oh yeah, you had a. Wait, you don't look like you had a kid. Did you de-age? How old is your kid? Are they like a toddler?
No, she's like in her 20s and becoming a lawyer.
Oh my God, did you have sex when you were like 13?
No, I was already out of the military.
Oh, that's a lie. He definitely had sex when he was 13.
It's all right, dude. You don't have to. I know it's like not, yeah, it's not legal in most places, but you don't worry, it's fine. We're not judging. It's cool. Sorry, I just have to make jokes about the fact that you look like you are 20 years younger right now, buddy. Like,
yeah, I'm actually trying really hard not to think about that, because if I've gotten this much younger in 24 hours, I'm
you're
really
gonna be a
worried
baby
what I'm
by
gonna look like
tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Oh my God. Holy
like-
macaroni.
Lettuce hanging out of my mouth. Like, Ash, do I look different?
No, you look the same that you did the last, 24 hours. Just sandwiches in your
maybe
face.
a little skinnier.
Your technique on eating sandwiches should improve. If you eat them that fast, everything jettisons out at the end. I want you to eat sandwiches a little bit more carefully next time. I either
Like
cut
what?
them in half.
Do I cut the
Cut them in
sandwich's
half.
butt? Like,
Yeah, like your speed is too much to eat the sandwiches.
Just need to go
I'll
to
work
burritos.
on it, but okay.
I really appreciate the distraction from the age conversation. Thank you.
Okay, all right. We're
Okay,
not
so
talking about
what
it anymore.
what's the plan? What are we doing here?
Cool.
Are we...
The last cab door is closed. The 5 of you are standing on the street. I said before that you knew what the building looked like, but now let's describe the building. So we'll go around in a circle, starting with Sarah, and we'll go clockwise according to... Yeah, because anything in Zoom over there is not going to be what you see. So according to what is visible to Twitch, it'll be Sarah, then Nat, then Carl, then Velvet, then Paige. And you can all describe a little bit about what this building looks like. What are some of the architectural pieces so that we can all kind of sit and settle into the building itself. And if you can help describe not all just exterior stuff, help work our way into the building, that would be great as we work on the 5 of you entering the building. So start away, Sarah, with the external.
So the outside of the building is like one of those molded cement kind of buildings that has like really fancy pillars and architectural details on it that look kind of gothic. Like you would imagine maybe a gargoyle would sit on the corners of this building. And the front door is kind of like bronze, but very Art Deco. Kind of looks like dwarves maybe forged this door from Lord of the Rings. Super fancy looking. It's got torches on either side.
No wonder unicorn Nazis live here. Like, this is so much ritzier than I was picturing. I love it.
Hey, she's got 10 billion followers on TikTok. I'm sure she's thrown some money at this building.
And live. If that's even equating to money at this point, who knows? All right. Cool. Are you going in through the front of the building, or are you going in through a separate entrance?
I think we should go in probably in the back.
I can probably
It's
guide
not
them to whichever
straight.
entrance is closest to Mama Rose's.
Cool. Who has does anybody have Resolve 4 or 5?
Leo has Resolve 4.
Just Leo? Nat? Okay. Nat has a Resolve of 1? 2! Okay. Leo, you see already there are 2 people across the street who have spotted you and are recording you all you 5 on their phones.
Hey, guys.
But doesn't have to be a scene because we're describing this stuff. It's just you notice that as you're heading in. So on your moment, you can probably bring it up. But we have now got the external building. I figure there's a couple of steps up to this beautiful door. There's a buzzer, things like that. And we move on to Nat.
Yes, having been in LA recently, I will say this is probably one of those New Deal projects that was built in the 1930s. It is actually quite nice, but has since found some disrepair. So if you are living in LA and you have a building, you are going to have a code on a door. I am sorry, it's just going to happen because nobody wants anybody walking into their apartment complex just willy-nilly. So we might have to wait for somebody, or somebody has to call or text Mama Rose to get the entry code. That's my contribution to this.
Cool. And so how do you get into the building then, Nat? You can just describe that for us since you have 2 different ways of seeing that happen, neither of which I feel like require a roll, but you're more than welcome to make a roll if you feel like doing that.
Samantha,
instead.
you know technology. Whenever I watch a movie about spies, I notice that when there's a keypad, there's a certain number of buttons that have more dirt accumulated on them because of the fact, I mean, I'm really high when I watch these movies and I think that works. So Sam, can you open this door?
Possibly?
All right. Technology. You got it.
Isabella, do you know the code?
You should, but
Yeah, I figured I would just know the code.
yeah, I think she does. And I just made that speech in complete error.
I love it. Okay, you can have a momentum on the momentum track.
Yes, I
just
can get
for
us
that.
in. What's the code, Isabella?
I just put in the code, but I cut my hand over it like old folks do at the ATM.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We're making good use of
Oh,
Samantha's super brain. Yeah, it definitely fuzzed you, didn't it? Gotta hold it there a little longer.
Focus. There we go.
Yeah. Wow. Carl, is that mug really big or is your head really that small?
No, it's
That's
my
a
favorite mug ever. It's
Very
a
large mug.
Pioneer woman Daisy.
Carl's
mug.
only like
Yeah.
4'8" anyway, so.
Oh my gosh. It's okay.
That's not true.
13.
It's not much of an exaggeration.
She's only like 4'9", not 4.
Sorry, I distracted. You're now into the building. Great, thank you. Carl, take over.
As we're all stepping inside and the exterior doors are closing, Leo is kind of quietly saying to everybody, hey, I don't know if you've noticed, but we attract a lot of attention in these jumpsuits. There's already some people outside that are videotaping us. I would imagine they'll either follow us or we're going to encounter more of them as we walk around in here. I don't really know what to do about that. Do we, if we already expect a confrontation, Samantha, you said something about pulling a fire alarm.
Yeah. There's one right around the corner over here.
Maybe we should
Dear.
make sure there's one of us near one when we get where we're going.
I mean, I think at this point we're just gonna have to get used to people recording us.
Yeah.
All right. And you said the stairs are over here? What floor is it?
Fourth.
Fourth floor.
What's the space look like?
When we get inside, the front door having the very, what was the art style you said? Like Art Deco,
Art Deco.
style door. That also translates to the interior hallways on the first floor. There is a lot of marble and a lot of like ornamentation. As we continue inside the building, though, that seems to be limited to the first floor. The rest of the floor shows that all of that veneer and finish has been added over time, and we see more of the cement building that this was originally.
Cool. Are there carpeted floors, or is it cement, or is it some sort of stonework?
As we go up the steps, all the hallways and stairs are just cement.
Okay. No carpet or anything.
Low pile carpet.
Carpet runners or regular carpet? Cool. All right, you're onto the stairs, Velvet.
All right, we make our way up. The stairs are cement. There's the railings, and it's weird because there's been a lot of replacing done. So some are kind of, nicer, like wooden white railings that somebody took the time to put in. Others are just like the base metal that's a little curvy, but like they didn't try.
I
Okay.
like that.
Cool. And you pass somebody on the stairs.
Who do we pass?
Velvet?
Oh, that's George. George is the handyman. He's always wearing like this old red jumpsuit from whatever kind of mechanic work he did. Nobody can tell because the like logo is so faded. Also, the name Miguel is written on them. Nobody ever figured out why.
He inherited them from somebody else.
That's the story.
Cool. He is upset and hurt. How do you know he's upset and hurt?
He's got a little broken harmonica that he's always fiddling with. He never actually plays it, but he just fiddles with it when he's upset.
Okay, he's fiddling with a harmonica, which is what immediately tells everyone in the party that, not knowing even that his name is George, that he is upset. How do you know that he is hurt, Sarah?
Body language, like the way he's walking.
Sure.
Maybe he's got like a limp.
Okay, he's limping. Okay. He is limping. Is there anything else wrong with him, Carl?
He has a bandage around his leg.
Cool. Okay. He's a bandage around his leg. I love it. He passes by the group as you're walking up the stairs.
I'm going to probably call after him. Hey, George.
Okay.
Pretty sure his name's Miguel.
It's a thing.
Yeah, hey, Isabella Sterling, like the silver. Hey.
What's
Are
what's
you
going
okay,
on?
sir?
Oh, I'm fine, little lady. I'm fine.
No,
Good
it's
day.
about
I'm gonna give him
Monica.
a fellow handyman nod.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Sonny. Don't mind.
You,
You don't seem okay.
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Just fine. Just heading back to my room.
Hey, we're all in jumpsuits. That's practically like family, right? If you need to talk, we've got a second.
Oh, hey, that's awfully kind of you, but there's no need to talk.
What happened to your leg?
Oh, it's just, old Something happened. Just the weather.
Oh,
Pressure wraps then, huh?
Yeah. Something like that.
You have an old injury?
Couple, yeah, get to my age. You'll find out one day, Sonny.
I'm actually quite familiar.
Oh, okay.
What do you take? Just aspirin? Or are you on anything anti-inflammatory?
What are these orange suits you're wearing? Is it new fashion?
yep, yes. Together we make autumn. Because you're
I
red
don't
and
know
we're
her.
orange.
Is that some sort of transformery thing or something?
We're
You
on
a
community
K-pop
service.
band or something?
We're helping the community.
Oh, yeah, my old man. Oh, some people came by and read him a story the other day. It was really good.
Did they give you a card?
That bitch.
A card?
Yeah, like a business card.
No. Well, anyway, if you don't mind, so you've done a great job with role playing, but of course, in the story guide system, the call for challenges and tests and whatnot is all upon you, the players. I'm not going to say make a check. That's on you. So if you want to adjust this scene at all, if you want to, because it definitely, I hope I have done a poor job of acting as George, because he's definitely not telling you the truth, but knowing that and figuring that out and pressing him to get genuine answers does not seem to be something you could role play easily. Would you like to adjust the scene with a check?
I would
Yes.
like to attempt a presence medicine check.
Sure. What is your goal?
To convince George to that we have his best interests in mind. We want to help him, and to trust us with whatever the information is that has him so upset.
Okay.
By talking to him about his medical condition.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable to get. You'd like to get some truth out of him by making use of your medicine. You're going to be forceful about it too. Okay. Yeah. That sounds reasonable. Is anybody else attempting to do anything check related? Would you like to adjust the scene at all?
I wanted to opt for the compelling presence to just kind of just get him to trust us, let him know that we're here to help.
Okay. Yeah. You can make. Do you have to spend any quantum in order to do that?
I do.
Okay, well then make a note to spend your quantum. Your pool is, of course, at an established pool. I believe you all have 3 quantum, and it develops into a pool of blah. I don't remember what the number is off the top of my head. I think it's a multiple there of like 15 or 18 or something.
A shared quantum.
Yes, you have quantum. And of course, don't forget you have momentum track. I don't really suggest using it on good old George here because he just seems like an NPC to help you get some more information. But that's up to you. How did you do on your check? There are no complications. It's just a 1 difficulty.
Okay. I have 3 successes.
Okay. And do you shift presence at all?
What? I'm sorry?
Do you have scale on presence?
Oh,
Any
no.
mega presence to shift the scale on it?
I have no mega presence. I have no mega socials.
Okay, perfect. Well, that seems like a very much a Leo thing. Okay, so that 3 successes is enough to make him feel like you know what you're talking about, and you definitely, when you make this check, you gain immediate knowledge. This is not an old wound. This is not something this is something very recent. He is not limping with any degree of familiarity with his limp, and when he steps down the stairs, he is ill-used to it being there because it recently happened, and it's some sort of concussive damage to his leg. We'll go over to Isabella Sterling. You wanted to use compelling presence, and your intent is to get what out of him?
I mean, seeing that Leo's got the injury handle, I think I want him to tell us what happened.
Okay, yeah. So as a result, George tells you what happened. He says, "Oh, I don't mean to speak ill of people, but I was upstairs on the 4th floor, and there's some sort of argument or something going on up there. And I got calls from a couple of the people down the hall to check in on, and I don't normally like doing so, but sometimes you just gotta step up there. And a burly fella answered the door. Never seen him before, and he was wearing clothes pretty similar to yours, actually. Come to think. Anyway, I tried to get in and push the door, and I got my foot stuck in there, and then he slammed it on me. Loud crack and whatnot. And I figured, might as well, somebody's going to call the cops or whatnot. It's more than I could put into this scenario. It was...
Leo, could you...
Yeah.
Could I what?
Hey, George, do me a favor and look over there.
He looks away.
I'm going to attempt to
him in
use
the
my
face.
lightning healing power.
Oh my god. Okay. Cool. How much quantum do you have to spend for that?
What level of injury would you
He
say
has
this-
one injured box.
Okay. Then I think I can do that with 1 quantum.
Holy moly. Is it the same for a bruised or an injured then?
Depending on my successes, yes.
All right. You
Medicine.
spend your quantum, make your check.
I am rolling my 3 quantum and 3 healing. And my successes become a pool that I can spend on healing injured conditions. And I have 1 success,
Ho ho!
which I don't think heals injured.
Nope. I mean, maybe it.
Makes it to bruised, right? So at least he feels some relief from the
I don't
pain.
know if it scales. I think it's either removes injured or removes
The
bruised.
Nova can also add enhancement up to their healing rating to this pool by spending additional quantum points.
Okay, cool.
At a cost of 2 per 1 enhancement. So I'll be spending 2 additional quantum to give me the 2 dots that I need to heal his injured.
All right, we can go
Status.
down from our 18 to 15.
Oh, it's not
Or
a pool of quantum. You each
No,
have your
each have it,
own
yeah.
pool of 15 quantum or whatever the number
Mhm.
is. So you got lots of quantum to spend, each of you. Some of you don't even have powers that spend quantum.
I
So
know.
yeah.
We're so lucky.
Actually, no.
to be
You
quantum
all have quantum spending powers because you all have punchy or shooty abilities that allow you to damage people, and therefore you're spending quantum that way. Cool.
But our
Good.
presence and our intelligence is innate.
And most attributes are all innate. There's some cool stuff that's going on here. I just wish we well, that's what happens when you're playing with a manuscript. And
We're doing good.
I think it's going great. We've never made this many checks. If anybody's watching, this is the first time we've made more than 5 checks in a game. So
we should be doing more, but
Hallelujah.
we're having fun role playing as well. So
exactly.
we do it both ways. Wait,
All right,
that
so
does
there-
not sound right.
There is a probably tingly lightning sensation, and a bright light comes from under Leo's hands to this guy's leg.
George says, "What the hell you doing to me?" But we've moved on from that scene. I've granted you a momentum for having aided and healed an NPC, but unfortunately, Leo, you need to determine whether or not your character, because you've used your super healing abilities on a normal individual, you need to determine whether you've tied your fate to his. And this character will become a character. If we were to continue on in this campaign, the problem with Nova powers and their use is they tend to connect people into making followers of them and tying their fate to them. And when you heal them the way you have, or you manipulate these people, they become bound to you. So you'll need to make a check to determine as to whether or not you've bound this person to you. And I don't remember the rules for that, so we're gonna make it up, and you're gonna have to fail. If you succeed on a presence check, then you don't bind him to you. Actually, it's just rolling your quantum. You roll your quantum, and if you get any successes, you will have bound this person to you. Go for it.
2, 5, 4. No successes.
All right, so no, George isn't really connected to you going forward, and once I know and remember that...
Which is a shame, because he's so much like Leo.
Old Leo, yes. Not current Leo. It's a good remembrance of who you once were. As George now happily walks the rest of the way back to his apartment and doesn't even call the cops because he figures, well, these people have it in hand. He has told you the apartment is for what, Paige?
420.
Yes. Yes, that is a good choice. You have made an excellent choice. I would grant you momentum on the momentum track, but I just did already. So no more momentum. You now have 5 momentum, and that's way more than enough for what you might need for your purposes. So we have now reached the 4th floor. Describe away.
Yeah. It kind of looks like the rest. It's not broken down. It's just not very modernized. It's not kept up. Like the walls could be clean, definitely. And walking past all these different doors, there's like a bunch of, people have wreaths, on their door. They have mats on the outside. And making it to 420, the mat says like live, laugh, leave. And a real sense of people inside.
There's a white girl element to that.
There is a lot of attention coming out of the doors as you're passing them. Almost every single door is cracked a little bit. You can occasionally see a face or two listening because the sounds are loud. And as you get closer, there is a rumble of the floor and a loud bang that happens. Almost like a shotgun blast or something that went off inside 420.
Every time I hear that, I laugh,
Yeah.
I know we said I shouldn't break down the door, but should I break down the door?
Let's just try it. Come on, you and me together. We can do this.
Break down the door?
I mean, at this point, yeah.
Sure, let's do it. All right.
They hurt George.
They did. They hurt this poor handyman.
You're right.
While they're talking about this, I'm knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I totally feel that's fine. I just want to comment that that's being unfair to your fellow players who are establishing and setting a scene, and then you jump in with a comment.
I think that's great, though, because he just sneaks in. We had this plan.
Yes.
He was going to go and knock on the door and make sure everything was okay.
Yes.
He followed the plan while we were discussing breaking
it.
Did.
Exactly.
I'm cool with it.
You are all
we are
lovely
the
players.
right and left hand of darkness right now. Come on.
You are all lovely players, and I love you all very much. But I will chastise Carl because that was unfair to just slip in and jump in. Everybody else has agreed, and by Velvet's silence, I acknowledge that Velvet is agreeing as well, that everybody likes that this has happened. So you knock on the door, and do you say anything when you knock on the door?
Hey, you're making a lot of commotion in there.
And what is the expression on everybody else's face when they turn to see that Leo has knocked on the door? If you want to just 3, 2, 1 expression.
Cool.
I feel like Velvet's frozen.
Velvet.
It's the Botox, I'm sorry.
Okay. Cool. The bang, the noise, and the commotion, the sounds from within the apartment cease immediately.
Do it now. Kick the door in. Kick it in. Do it now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lean against the wall and just
Yeah. I feel like I'm just gonna break the knob off and push it in, so I don't in case there's a small child.
Okay.
On the other side, I don't squish them.
Yeah. As you go to break the knob off, you see the door handle turning.
I get my hand ready to punch if I see someone with a gun. who looks, potentially like a Quilly.
They always send the women first to open the door, and then they're right behind them. Just FYI.
Okay. Yeah. I won't just swing. I'm just ready.
Are there still doors and stuff cracked open along the hallway?
Yes, absolutely. People, you can hear people whispering, "Who are they? What's going on? What is going on out there?" There's a phone out there. It's recording something as well.
I think if I see them still being open as the door's opening, I'm just gonna shout, trusting the acoustics of the hallway. Like, this is like last Thanksgiving with the McCoys. Keep your head down and the door closed.
Are you putting anything behind that, or?
Yeah. I don't want to spend more quantum, so I think I'll just go for
Presence.
Yeah, presence command.
Ooh, presence command check. One of the complications of that is that you're going to alert the people behind the door that there are essentially authority figures out here, and it's not just a concerned middle-aged maybe Nuck that Leo might sound like, since he sounds like a 40-year-old man now. So you could alert more there. That's a 2 success complication. Otherwise, there's no other complications. The more successes you get, the more doors close.
I have a singular success because I'm rolling very poorly.
Cool. Okay.
Does my mega presence help?
Oh, absolutely. You scale this up. How many dots of mega presence do you have?
I have 2.
Then you immediately have 3 successes off of that. So you close a couple of doors, and you can buy, or you can close all of the doors but not buy off the complication if you want to, or you can buy off the complication and close a couple of doors.
I think I'll buy off the complication and close off a couple doors, because there are some people who are just relentless in their nosiness. Yep,
those people, you cannot stop them. Yep. Lee Jean, who lives in the apartment across, you don't stop him. He's still recording. He just owns 420 as well. Which is interesting considering how we developed good old Frances Kirchhoff. You'd think she'd own the apartment at this point and instead of still renting. But maybe, being an influencer on TikTok hasn't come to a lot of money and
in LA,
there.
never.
So,
you can't own anything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think you can. You just have to be very wealthy. So.
Sponsorships, man. It's all about the sponsorships.
You're not buying an apartment, that's for sure.
Yeah. So now we are at the point where an elderly lady opens the door. She's wearing a shawl, a brown shawl.
That's an Alderaan veil. No.
Yeah, an Alderaan cowl.
Do you want to back up?
Hello?
Hi. Is everything all right, ma'am?
Oh, yeah, just an argument.
We talked to George earlier.
Oh, George, he's nice, yes.
He got
Everything's
hurt.
fine here. You just
Checking on you.
It's just an argument. Just you can just go about your business.
If you would like to come with us, we can make sure nothing else happens.
No, I'm fine, dear.
We can also keep an eye on your kid.
Oh, no, everything's fine. It's fine. Just head on back. Thank you so much for checking in on us.
Is your daughter okay?
Oh, everything's fine, dear. We're fine. It's fine. You can go.
Is it opposite day?
I'm sorry. No, everything's fine. It's fine. There's no need.
I would like to use a power.
I was going to say, I think I want to make a cunning empathy check to see if
you can do that too. Yeah, no, there's no
exactly
need that
what I'm doing.
only Carl has to make a roll. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to use Revealing Read, which is also Empathy Cunning.
Cool. All right. Well, you're doing that. What is everybody else going to do? Is Nat's going to have a drink? Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I am calming composure the situation.
Ooh, okay. All right. Does that require the expenditure of quantum?
Yeah.
Okay. Spend
One
some
quantum.
spend some quantum for compelling composure.
Roll empathy plus composure.
All right, you make
And
your
I'm
check.
going to calm everything in my
Yep.
presence.
You calm everyone.
No, I'm just,
Am I included?
Yes, everyone is included in that. It is non-specific. It is general to the entire atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
What you can see.
Let me see the range here. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
You look that up. Velvet, what are you up to?
In the arena by 1 success. Oh,
Yeah,
Gonna
you can shift scale, yeah.
sneak up like right behind Leo and kind of just to pop my head like over his.
are
Like
we
enough
at
to just
9?
be like, hi, Miss Kirchhoff.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just greeting. Are you going to make a check? Or are you looking to make a roll? All right, while you're looking that
Yes.
up, what was your question, Nat?
I rolled 3 successes.
Oh, holy moly. Okay. Do you have any mega composure, I think is what you were rolling? And you have 1 mega composure? I don't know if the scale works on your compelling comp, but in this instance here, you're reducing the state of emotional intention by significant amount, correct?
Yeah, I'm just trying to create an atmosphere where she doesn't feel afraid enough that she has to make excuses for everybody in the room behind her.
Okay.
I mean, and also we're going to all go in there calm
Yes.
and not punching until we need to punch. And we will
Yeah,
punch if we need
so much calm.
so much calm.
Everything's fine. Cool.
Yeah.
That's what's going on with Ash, and then Nat will get Ash to describe how they did this with their superpowers in a moment, while
After.
I get those 2 other checks from Leo and Samantha. What are you're making? You're just using a power, right? Both of you.
I'm using revealing read.
Okay.
The difficulty is equal to the target's composure.
Yes, in that instance, that's a 4.
Okay. I have 4 successes.
Ooh.
Does that mean I have a success?
I
Over
think
the
that
composure?
knocks you out at 0. But if you got any successes, does your you don't have any mega composure, so it won't.
I do. I have mega cunning, which is what I'm rolling.
Oh, you're rolling a cunning check. Okay, then does that power allow you to scale with cunning, or not?
Yes.
Okay, then you have 4 successes, then, don't you? Because you've doubled your successes.
Okay. The maximum number of successes that I can get over the difficulty is my mega cunning, which is 1.
Oh, okay. So
With 1 success, the Nova learns a single superficial fact or surface thought.
okay, cool. You learn help me, please help. Which I think is really pretty clear and evident. Also, I really hate this brown dish towel I'm being forced to wear as a headpiece. That's also what you learn.
I think we have the same towel.
You look like Luke in The Rise of Skywalker right now.
Yeah,
That's right.
I will trace my foot
Catches the
along
light.
the red of the thing, and everything will be fine. Okay, and Sarah, what's going on with Samantha?
I was gonna make initially I was going to make a cunning empathy check, but I think I would rather use my foresight ability to try and kind of figure out
How this is going to play out.
yeah, kind of what the next kind of step should be in this situation. Like, we know she's wanting help. Like, that's pretty obvious at this point. Do we just go in against her wishes because she said to leave? Like, how do we maneuver this?
So foresight really just lets you re-roll dice per session, right? It's really what it allows you to do. Like you can re-roll 3 dice per session is what foresight allows you to do, and allows you to make, and also you can make dramatic editing rules, which means like I'll describe something happening and you're like, whoa, that was a bad choice. Like if you'd kicked open the door and taken out poor Betty Kirchhoff, you could be like, no, we didn't do that. and you could use that. That's what foresight allows you to do. So you can re-roll dice, or you could dramatically edit something that I've described.
Okay.
So why don't you just make your cunning empathy check to see if you can get some more surface thoughts other than help me. This brown tea towel on my head looks like that's really stupid.
I also made a roll, if that's cool.
What is your roll when you popped up and looked at her? You already made a roll already, but I'm fine. Let's make lots of rolls tonight.
I'm going for a presence empathy. Go ahead.
Nope. Velvet, what was your intention with your presence empathy?
Just because I'm sure she's probably seen me around going to Mama Rose's, so just so she knows that there's a familiar face, not just a pack of strangers.
Okay, so you want her to recognize you, like, because you have that's easy enough to do with just role play. You want something out of this. You want to make a change to things. You want to have an impact here. You want her to do what? Okay, you know what? If you get any successes, she'll recognize you, and she will also reveal yet another secret.
Yeah, I guess just put her at ease, because I'm sure Isabella's broken up crap around the tenements before.
She's already put to ease.
Okay, so just
can I use my my role, at least right now, to say that my intention was to draw Isabella in, have her kind of grab her on the shoulders and take her to the door across the way, to be like, it's okay, we're gonna be
all right. You've calmed the entire scene. Depending on the successes that Isabella gets, and we'll see what Samantha's up to. Samantha, what is your role? What are you gonna try to get out of this?
So I had 2 successes on a cunning and empathy, and I have 1 mega cunning.
So that's 4 successes. However, it goes up against her resolve of 2, so you end up with a net of 2 successes. So, with those 2 successes, that's enough for you to know that, it's definitely something bad's going on in there, and there's a lot of unhappiness. Without getting into specifics, because you can't, you know that she doesn't want to be part of this, but she doesn't feel like she can leave because people who are important to her are still inside.
Okay.
And Paige, what would you like to do?
I'm waiting on because I know I'm the muscle. I'm waiting. I've been calmed. I'm not going to just go bursting in. As soon as I get the Mayday, I'm going to go in and use my multitasking.
Cool.
Yes.
Just so you know, the abilities that Ash has put out when they use their ability, which Nat's going to describe in a moment, that's calmed you to the point where you wouldn't necessarily feel inclined to do any sort of rushing. Like you're finding, you're like, I want to make a fist, but are fists really the way? Like the level of apathy and not indifference, because you feel like this is important, but like the calm of the situation and just making sure like there's no need for hostilities, there's no need for violence, because that's aggressive and there's no need for that, is definitely washing over everyone here as Betty Kirchhoff, because of all of these revealing things, takes 2 steps towards leaving the door, opening it a little bit more and starting to step out to Isabella, and she says, oh please, Isabella Sterling, help me, Isabella Sterling, you're my only hope. You need to save my daughter. As she walks towards you. But things are going to slow down very quickly. Ash, I need to know what this descriptive superpower is like. What is this superpower come across as?
Calm and composure is just, I am a walking Xanax. So I am against the wall, listening to all of this happen as Leo opens the door, as Paige is waiting patiently to punch a Nazi. And, as everybody's kind of freaking out, Isabella is there like, I recognize her. And I'm going to, like, as soon as she like kind of like gives any space between the door and her, as coming through it, I'm going to be like, I'm going to turn around and kind of grab her a little bit by her shoulders with my like sparkly vampire presence, be like, everything's going to be okay. We're going to take care of everything that's going on right now. Izzy's going to get you to a safe place, and I'm going to get you to a better place. And then I'm going to shuffle her towards Izzy to take
Cool.
care of her.
Yep. And I just want to add that Lucent's power seems to be all light driven. That
She's overwhelmed and dazzled by my beautiful presence, but you know.
Yeah, I would think that as part of this is like there's like a pulsing light, you know, one of those like low end tea infuser ones that has like the essential oils that pulses gently. I feel like not that Ash theirself pulses, but that the light everywhere kind of has that diffusive pulsing light that just kind of settles and mellows people's moods, that there's like that potentially even
it's like
faster
that,
than your sorry
it's like a form of ASMR, but it's like light therapy where you like put your light like mask on and fall asleep. That's exactly what I am.
Yes, exactly. Okay,
Syncopated beats.
Yep. And that all happens external to the light around you all. Just you feel that tension ease across your spine as your back muscles declench, and you almost get that aromatherapy smell, but it's all the lights in the room, in the hallway, have that diffusing power. And as she steps out, the door is flung open, and there is a large, burly man in torn up prison clothes, glaring down at you, who does not seem to have felt the effects of this calming presence. And he glares at you balefully, and he says, "Get the fuck out!"
Oh, there's our one.
And
I'm standing here, right?
And that's where we'll end today's session, actually.
What? Oh my god, I completely lost track of time.
What? It's already been. No way.
Holy
No
cow.
way.
Yeah.
I want to keep going.
I know, right? But
I know.
yeah.
So ready to punch.
All right. No, that's a sign of a good session.
Hour, right?
Yeah.
We
What a
are
cliffhanger.
right at the cusp of 11 o'clock here. I know we started just a microcosm too late. I would have gotten into the room a bit further, but this is a perfect moment for the segue into next week's game.
Yeah.
I'm Kyle.
I wouldn't give up a moment of the joking and
No, I think this is the best session we've had yet.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
or the dice rolls. This was a very productive
It was.
game. Oh my gosh. I completely lost track of time. This was fantastic.
Yeah, legit. Like, wow.
Yeah. Thank you guys. I
Cool.
feel very
I love y'all.
validated in this Chili's tonight.
I'm charged. Like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Are you pulsing?
Let's throw down.
I might have to run a D&D one shot for him before we can get some sleep.
Oh, come on. You can just do other things. It's his 40th birthday.
You are buried. We're not gonna. No, never mind. I'm canceled. Over. Stop the recording.
Exactly.
Oh,
No, I love you guys. Thank
I
you.
love you guys too.
Yeah. Well, I'm Kyle. This has been episode 9 of Community Service. There are 2 games left coming up next week. These are my lovely players. Thank you so much for joining us today. I will turn it over to them to say their goodbyes.
Bye, everybody. My name is Sarah. I played Samantha, obviously. You can find me on Twitter at RNL, on Twitch at Artist Mythica. This was a ton of fun. Thank you so much for participating in the chat with us. And thank you so much, Onyx Path, for having us here. And thank you, Kyle, so much for putting this game together, because it is so much fun. And I love all of these people.
Velvet.
And I wanted to end. I'm Velvet. You can find me on the interwebs at OG Brown Sugar, and I played Isabella Sterling like the Silver. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's such a blast. I didn't realize how much I missed this from our short hiatus. And gosh, I just love you all so much.
Paige.
Yeah, I'm Paige. I play Jess. I'm very excited to be back, and I'm excited for next time because I feel like I'm gonna really use some of my superpowers pretty hardcore. So I'm super stoked. yeah, and you can find me on Twitter, D&D and Page, whichever way you see it. And yeah, you can find me here on Tuesdays and Mondays on Scronicus. So I'm very excited for next week.
Nat.
Hi, I am Nat. As you can tell, I am Ash in life, just as I am in game. I am a mess. Absolutely. Find me at Ashes for Foxes on Twitter. It's the only place I respond. And if you want to talk to me, just DM me. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, no, I love all of these people. And very much happy birthday to Carl for turning 40, so that I don't have to, because I turned 35 recently. Anyway, love you all. Thank you.
I don't think that's how birthdays work. I don't get a birthday so you don't have to.
I'm vicariously living through you. I have gray hair now. I literally have gray hair now.
Because you've lived vicariously through Carl.
Yes.
Hey,
We're all getting
it is a
younger
rough
through
life.
Carl.
Yes.
I love it.
We are literally getting younger through Carl.
That's amazing. I'm glad I could be such an inspiration, make everyone feel younger at heart. Hi, I'm Carl Jordan. You can find me at Twitter. It's RPG Carl. You can find me here on Tuesdays for 2 more weeks. You can find me on Wednesday nights on the We Are Nerdsmith channel, where we do a City of Mist game on Wednesdays called Obscurum. That's a black and white noir superhero. It's fantastic with a great cast. Thank you for joining us. I was playing Leo, and as you can see, I'm de-aging and having a crisis with these crazy people who want to kick indoors. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining the game. Thanks, Onyx Path, for giving us a home for the 11-game arc that we're going to play. Thank you as well, all 5 of you, for saying yes to playing into the 2020. My goal had been to stop this game in December, but we'd had some scheduling conflicts, and of course Christmas had hit us pretty hard, all of us. Yeah. And I'm glad that we can kick 2020 off with the resolution in this game, because I feel like these 5 people are special, and I can't wait to see kind of where things go over the next 2 games as we lead up to this conclusion. As I always say, these individuals here are sentenced to 200 hours of community service, and in so doing have found a new community for themselves, of which they're trying to be of service to. You will live a much more fulfilled and happier life if you find a community, become part of it, and then find a way to be of service to it. Go out there, donate your time, join community theater troupe, or take an improv class, or just go join a knitting circle. There's lots of things you can do to find people in your community to add and improve the world around you. So with that, I have one thing left to say, and that's be nice to each other, be of service. Have a great night.